What's up, everybody? We hope you guys are getting ready for Halloween. Mike, you've already been constructing ungodly creations, haven't you, for Halloween?
Yeah, made all sorts of gross skulls and whatnot.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm working on a few other things, like nothing for our yard display. I'm gonna put it up on the porch for while we're handing out candy, but I'm gonna make like a pile of coals, like glowing coals with some burned logs and then some bones in there, and then do like a witch's cauldron on top with some bubbly purple stuff and probably a bone or two sticking out of it.
Yeah.
I fucking love Halloween, man. I watch a horror movie every single day through October, from October 1st to Halloween.
Yeah, I think it's a big chance for a lot of people to get creative. They usually don't, or they don't have a reason to, they think. So that's one of the reasons why I like this season.
Yeah, I used to love when my kids would trick or treat and I could make costumes. And like, just when I started like really getting it down and like making some cool shit, they're like, "Oh, we're not trick or treating anymore." Like, God damn it! And it was the year that my youngest stopped. I was planning a Doc Ock costume for him, and then he's like, "No, I'm not going to go trick or treating this year."
He turned down a Doc Ock costume.
He didn't want to go trick or treating, so
I would pay to see how that would have turned out, dude.
Dude, it would have been awesome. It would have been so fucking cool. I'm very bummed about that. Still to this day. Like, I just want to make it for me now, you know?
So I want you to make it for you. I want to see this thing.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
Well, we hope you're well. We hope you're ready for Halloween. It's coming fast, man. I looked at the date today and I literally had no idea how late in the month it is.
Yeah, I mean, shit. We're going to be starting recording for the Halloween episode soon. So, I mean, really, that's coming out, 2 weeks from today? Or no. Yeah, well, I guess it depends when we release it. But if we're going to release it on Halloween, then it would be, a week, 2 weeks from tomorrow at the time of recording.
Yeah, well.
So, yeah, it's coming up, man. And I got a good story.
Yeah, what are you going to talk about tonight? You've been teasing, not teasing, but beating around the bush with what you're going to talk about tonight for a few days now. My interest is piqued.
I mean, this episode is essentially going to be, I guess, a way we could dub it is strange travels, because I know you've got one about a boat, and I'm going to talk about a haunted train, and we'll be talking about Bigfoot from a train, but this all came about because of a story that I heard in one of the volumes of Haunted Liverpool. I think it might have been, it was either 32 or 36. I can't remember which volume. There's like a million of them, but it was a story that comes from there, which I'm going to save to the end, but it's about I really don't know how to describe this other than to say that the things that run Dark City accosted a bus in England.
Dude, when you asked if I had seen Dark City, I hadn't thought about Dark City since I watched Dark City. And it's not that it was bad.
I fucking love that movie, dude. And I get that sort of vibe from this.
Nice.
But we'll save that for the end, yeah. And also, I want to apologize for my voice. I lost my voice
right after I got mine back.
Yeah, basically. For those that don't know, we typically record Friday nights. And this past week, I had to postpone our recording because I lost my voice. And as you can tell, I still don't fully have it back. But I've got it back enough that you can at least, that I don't have to whisper into the microphone. I figured you guys didn't want the Whatcast ASMR. So you get to hear me try to fucking speak around all the gravel in my throat. But
at least it's all low and sexy and not all crackly and yeah.
Hey, lady. But I figure like a really to kind of kick things off, that you sent me that video of Bigfoot that was filmed from a train. I don't know any of the details on it. I just saw the video. Do you know any of the details surrounding that?
All I know about this case, this video, it's from this like scenic train ride that you can take in Colorado. And this couple apparently thought they were filming elk But instead, well, we'll just go to the video. I mean, we'll get into what we think about it, but first let's describe it for those. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but it's just this slow moving train that's passing this, what, like a hillside?
Yeah, that's what it looks like, just a hillside, foothill or something.
And it's, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. It's this giant Bigfoot walking in the opposite direction of the train, and he kind of stops and squats and sits and like almost completely disappears.
So just to start off, the way that he's walking, it completely. I've spent a lot of time at various hippie music festivals over the past couple decades, and the way that this thing was walking reminded me of hippies that I've seen in various states of inebriation trying to navigate a hill. That's exactly what the way that he was walking reminded me of. I'm like, I've seen that guy at like 1,000 festivals. I know that guy. And I wouldn't even say it looked like he disappeared. I mean, his quote unquote fur is like straw colored, and he squats down amongst some like scrubby looking bushes. So it kind of is a similar color to the luxurious and is it just me, or does it look like Bigfoot conditions? I mean, that hair was very shiny and smooth.
That's Miss Sophie sent us a message on Instagram, and she was like, check out Bigfoot shine. I was like, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like he uses herbal essences.
He uses the same stuff Thor does.
Yeah. He it's the founder of Dr. Squatch. That's who they spotted. It's what that is. It's a viral ad campaign for Dr. Squatch, and that's what they came across. And that's why his pelt was so shiny.
Right. If the video kept going, he just lifts one leg and busts out a bar of soap and vigorously washes his genitalia.
Yeah. And then smells it, because Dr. Squatch apparently smells amazing. But it's also $3,000 a bar.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, to me, it has like a straw-colored fur, like you said, but like towards the end of its hand, like its arms, maybe not its hands, but just the fur, like towards the end of the arms, it gets a little bit darker. And same for its head. And when it sits down, it almost turns into like the surrounding bushes. There's like a bunch of single bushes around this hillside. And when he squats, he almost turns into one of these bushes. It's weird. It's just very good camouflage. But I have to agree with you. It walked like one of the hippie dudes I used to know, for sure. I know what you're saying there. I've seen that walk as well.
Yeah. It totally is. It's the fucking hippie saunter is what it is.
They're saying it's 6 to 7 feet tall. I mean,
yeah. So, I mean, it could be a really fucking tall hippie wearing a fursuit. To me, just the how shiny and luxurious that fur looks makes me completely discount this as being an actual Sam Squanch.
Yeah, it looks like newly manufactured like synthetic hair. It's a brand new costume.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't even take the time to grungy it up. Those fucking amateur bastards.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these videos that it looks so good it has to be fake. But besides that, like you said, the coat of this animal looks a little too shiny to be something that lives in the fucking woods. I don't know. To me, I've been watching some shit about like the new Unreal Engine 5 like video game graphics. I'm gonna send you a video. It's like an open world RoboCop game that some dude made. And now people are adding that shit with filters that kind of like knock down the quality of the overall footage. And it's just, we're screwed, man. We're fucked.
We're never going to get quality footage that's real or believable ever.
We just won't be able to tell.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean by quality. Like, you're never going to be able to believe anything anymore. Which is going to make it so easy for this fucking fake alien invasion that we've got coming.
Yeah, oh, no kidding, huh? That's why after all these years, the Unreal Engine 5 happens to come out.
Yeah, for aliens.
I mean, like, I'll send you a couple videos that I've come across, like that RoboCop game. There's a couple
My kids were showing me this game that he didn't even provide any context. He just said, watch this video. And it looked like it was like body cam footage from a SWAT raid.
Yeah, that's one of
And
them,
I'm
dude.
like,
that's one of
that
the ones I'm
shit's
talking
fucking
about.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are the details about this? And he's like, well, that's a game. You were just watching game graphics. I'm like, that's in-game graphics. And he's like, yeah, it's for fucking VR. And I'm like, that is fucking wild, man. Like, if you had that, like, wearing the VR set, that would be so, like, my anxiety would go through the fucking roof. Like, that's way too real. That would be so scary.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you have a VR headset. I have one, and it may look that cool on TV, but in VR, it's still so much more. So that has to be terrifying.
I mean, even like I played Doom on PlayStation VR, and even knowing that they're fucking video game graphics, you still turn around and see this fucking computer demon running at you. It's fucking terrifying. If that thing looked real, like it was like an actual thing, oh fuck. Yeah. So scary.
I have one game where you like land on the surface of a planet and you stand in one spot and different like species of aliens rush you. And I hadn't played it in a long time, a few months, and I wasn't doing anything. My wife was in the kitchen cooking something, and I turned it on, and she ran out of there. I screamed so loud. I was like, I don't need this. I know this is not entertainment. You know,
I've played a game like that where it's just wave after wave of zombies.
I have one zombie game, and they're very cartoonic. They walk, they make funny noises, and I'm like, that's enough. I don't need to play Resident Evil in VR. Fuck yourself.
Yeah, right. Oh man,
like the Forest in VR? Nope. No, thank you.
I do want to play No Man's Sky in VR though.
Oh yeah, I still want to play Skyrim in VR. That's gonna be cool.
I feel like that would be more frustrating than anything though.
I've seen some gameplay footage of it, and it's gotten to a point where I think I'd jump in for sure.
I guess I'm not seasoned enough in the VR thing. I don't know I would have to learn my way around it to really feel comfortable getting involved in that sort of shenanigans.
I'm glad you saw that SWAT game footage, because that's one of the videos I'm talking about. And I'll try to find that video and a few others and put them in the show notes. So you guys can see we're like quickly in the past 2-3 years here. I think we're actually in the days of video footage is not going to count as proof of any of this shit anymore. It's that good looking. It looks that natural. It's maybe that it looks so real now. It's beyond looking natural. It looks goddamn real. I was watching somebody play a game with the Unreal Engine 5, and it almost was annoying to watch because it was like everything was like a video. There was nothing cool about it. It was too real. There was no immersion to it. It was just somebody walking around a building. And I was like, would you agree that we've entered the age of where we can't really count on any type of footage or photograph that comes out now?
Yeah, we've been saying that for fucking years now, though.
Yeah, but I think this is like official yet after the videos that I've seen in the past 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, there's stuff that I know it's fake, but then there's videos that I watched for a good while. Then I had to read comments to finally be like, wait a minute, that was fake. After rewatching it 5 or 6, 10 times, it's just indistinguishable now. Like officially, I don't know if I'm gonna buy any type of footage of this type of stuff.
Yeah. Dude, you want to see some wild examples of fucking how CGI is being used in that way? Just go on Twitter and just look up the fucking hashtag UFO and then go to the media tab, and you'll see so much shit that looks so fucking real, and it's so far from being legitimate. And a lot of times someone will claim it or say this is attributed to so-and-so. But even after it's officially documented as being a hoax, it still gets passed around every few months. Here it is again. Here's that video. Oh my God. Proof aliens are here. Nope, that was debunked a year ago. But here we go again. But some of them, they just looked so fucking good, though, man. Like, it bums me out.
Yeah, it's that's part of your theory about what's happening with the alien stuff too. That's a part that's come true as well. Is that there's been like a new UFO footage video released every fucking 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're all over the place, man, and they're none of them are legit.
So Colorado Bigfoot, love your hairdo, baby, but I'm not buying it.
You're just too sexy. That's the thing. You're far too sexy, and because of that, we have to say that you're not real. I'm sorry. I want Fabio Bigfoot. I really do, but I can't buy into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few days now, and that's the only angle. That's the only footage of this supposed sighting on a whole train of people.
Well, what are you gonna do? But Fabio Bigfoot, if you're out there, I love you, baby.
Share your shampoo.
Share your secrets, bitch. But so all right. So that's a Bigfoot sighting from a train. But what about ghost trains?
I don't know. Ghost trains. I don't know why. I'm sure. Why wouldn't there be ghosts on a train? There's abandoned trains that sit for fucking 70 years. Sure, but to me, it always just has like a B movie feel to it. Ghost train.
Yeah, ghost train. All aboard the ghost train. Yeah, I see what you mean. But what about Ghostbusters 2 with the ghost subway train?
Yeah.
So there's actual precedent to that. Have you ever heard of the ghost train in the New York subway?
No, but I am not surprised.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a ton of ghost stories. Like FDR's dog apparently is spotted there
in the subway.
In the subway, yeah. I guess FDR used to travel everywhere with this Scottish Terrier, and he haunts this subway station at the Grand Central platform, and he'll occasionally be seen waiting for his owner, and then just kind of disappears.
That's crazy. It must have been that little guy's favorite place to go.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But the ghost train, though, that is, it's not like it is in Ghostbusters where it's like this like spectral train. This is an actual train that rolls up where a train shouldn't be. It's known as the Phantom Train at Astor Place. But apparently this thing, like this train, will just show up, and at one point someone has actually boarded the train. But the legend around the train is that it's a train that belonged to August Belmont Jr., whose company actually built the Lexington Avenue line that is part of the subway, and that they opened that in 1904. And along this line, August Belmont had his own private car, which he would use to entertain his guests, friends, rich people, whatever, celebrities, and whatnot. But the car was like super fancy. It had like leather curtains, reclining seats, silk drapes. It was all lined in mahogany. They had an oven on board. There was drinks being served. So it was like a big fucking party on this thing. And this private this private car doesn't run anymore, but it still shows up. And on at least one occasion, someone has boarded this car and explains exactly what it looks like, and only to find out once they get off the train that this car doesn't exist on the train. Like that this was what you're describing was a private car that ran in the early 1900s and no longer exists.
And they'll actually get on the train and it'll take them somewhere?
Yeah. But when they get off, it's like they're just getting off at their their stop.
Whoa, I wonder what that looks like from the outside. Are they just like sitting, floating in the
Yeah,
air?
right. Yeah, yeah, it's weird.
Holy crap.
But so what could explain that? Because I mean, like, you can't have a ghost of a car or a ghost of a train. Is it like a time shift sort of thing, like this weird vortex? And in this area, occasionally this train will pop through?
You know what? That's a great point. That's a good question. Is this thing connected to a train that actually exists, or this thing rolls up on its own?
So this was a private car that was attached to the subway line.
Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's got to be some type of time loop.
Right?
I mean, it actually took them there. We know that people who've experienced time loops, what they experienced there is real.
Yeah, it's stuff that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, but that's
2 people have ridden the train and their descriptions matched?
only one person has described it.
Okay.
So, I mean, that person, you know, because it's just one person, you got to kind of figure along the lines of maybe they heard the story of the ghost train and kind of maybe had some sort of knowledge of what like a fancy train would look like back in the day. And they're like, oh, yeah, I definitely went on that train. It was so fancy and I was served whiskey and everything.
Yeah, it has a little bit of a Twilight Zone feel, a little Unsolved Mysteries type story.
Yeah. But, I mean, many people have reported seeing this phantom train.
Huh. And in the exterior, it looks like a normal train, or
no, like
looks
the
old?
exterior, because even, like I said, it's got like really fancy curtains and everything in the car. So it's distinguished from the regular train. And the inside is all super fancy.
Yeah, that is weird. It's got to be a time loop. I mean, what else could it be? What does it mean to you that it's not glowing and half visible, and it's not full of people that are half skeleton and fades away as people see it?
I wish that was the case. That would be way cooler, I think. The fucking zombie train.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a train out there like that for sure. But this thing is just appearing as complete reality, is complete.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Time slip.
It's the only explanation, right?
Yeah, that's a little bit too
weird. I
weird.
suppose it's not the only explanation, but it's one of those really fucking weird things, man. I don't know how else to explain it.
Can you imagine being somebody that lives there and that's aware of this phenomenon? Somebody like-minded like us, and just taking the train and just having a train pull up and you look up and you're like, God damn, there it is. Yeah, and just seeing this old-timey fucking, oh man.
If any of you guys live in New York City or have had like a weird experience or know any weird stories about the subway, let us know. Like, if it's enough, I'm going to dig deeper into this, and maybe we'll do a whole fucking haunted subway episode. But if you guys have anything that you can share, please pass it on. You can leave a comment on the website or send us an email. What's our email? Thewhatcasters?
@gmail.com, you list.
All right. The Whatcasters, not the Whatcast, because that's not our email. It's thewhatcasters @gmail.com.
Or yeah, you can hit us up on our website too. There's a message thing there. That's thewhatcast.com or thewhatcasters.com, whatever your fingers prefer.
Or you can bother Mateo on social media.
Yep, I answer.
So from trains to boats.
Yeah. It's funny, you told me basically you're like, find something that has to do with a train or a boat.
Yeah. Yeah. No planes in this episode though. But I feel like we've spent a lot of time on planes in the show and not enough time on trains and boats and buses.
Yeah. Well, if just by chance I happened to see a video on something that I found interesting, and I went to, after you told me to find something on a train or a boat, I said, I'll take a look at this, and I did some research, and I actually found more instances of this occurring than I originally found. And some of them vary. I think their dates vary, like from case to case. They vary enough to where they're not close enough to be maybe an accident. And there's a lot of these are like maritime boat stuff. it takes place off the coast of England and Wales. So this is all very well documented stuff. You can look this up, but I'm going to combine all the dates that I found to where this took place. No, the name Hugh Williams, does that sound familiar to you?
I don't think so.
Makes me think of Ashley J. Williams. That's the only Williams I know. Okay.
Is there any relation?
No, it's just Ash from Evil Dead's full name.
Well, if he's not related, I don't give a fuck then. Fuck you, other non-Ash. I just watched Evil Dead with my son for the first time yesterday. Or Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2?
Yeah.
And?
He liked it a lot better than Evil Dead.
Ah.
Yeah. He didn't really care too much for the original Evil Dead, which disappointed. Because that's one of my favorites, but he did like Evil Dead 2, so there's still hope.
Yeah, who doesn't like Army of Darkness? You finish it with the third one?
Yeah. We'll get to the third one. And I've only seen the first season of the series, but I really liked that as well.
Yeah, it got dropped from where it was being shown, and then it was so popular that another company picked it up, and then I heard it got dropped from them, and then Netflix is like, yeah, we'll take it.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Well, back to the story. Remember, Hugh Williams.
No, he's going to be Ash's brother from now on. That's how I will remember him.
You know what? He he just might be. On December 5th, 1660, a ship sank on the Menai Strait off the coast of Wales. Out of all the people aboard the ship, there was one survivor. It's going to be like the easiest test you've ever taken, Mike. Do you know who that survivor was?
Was it Hugh Williams?
It sure
ancestor of Ash?
It was.
Did he have a cannon for an arm?
No, maybe at this time, maybe like a small farming sickle. It's 1660.
Oh, so he could have a pirate's cutlass.
Oh, yeah. I'll take it. 1664. A ship carrying 81 people sank again off the coast of Wales in the Menai Strait. And yes, sir, there was one survivor.
Was it also a Williams?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. Yes, we've got a legacy now.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. These guys are definitely Ash's ancestors.
1767. A ship carrying 127 people sank.
But not Mr. Williams.
Not the lone survivor, one Mr. Hugh Williams. Now, this is all in the same spot off this Menai Strait here. They're all on December 5th.
All right, I'm proposing a counter theory here.
Okay.
These Williams are evil. They're a clan of evil Williams that at certain intervals on December 5th, they need to feed some sort of sea demon, a sea deadite, perhaps. God. And so they get aboard a boat, and because they're there, they know the words to speak to summon the forgotten deity that dwells below the water, and they speak the words, and the fucking whatever tentacles or fish arms or whatever come up out of the water, eat everybody, but allow the Williams clan to live on.
Yeah, dude, that thing flops on boards. It eats everybody. It just stands there and they lock eyes and it just slithers back into the sea.
Yeah. And as a reward, this isn't multiple generations of Williams. This is the same one. He's just allowed to survive. And when his time comes, he gets the choice. You either die or you renew the ritual.
See, your idea is way cooler than mine. A sea wizard is way cooler than mine. I figured that this is, again, another time loop, or this is a vampire.
No, Lovecraftian wizard.
I'm down with that. Because in 1785, a ship with 85 fucking people sank. Where? In the Menai fucking Strait off of fucking Wales. There's one survivor, Hugh Williams. Now, on August 8th, in 1820, a boat sank near the River Thames. In this case, there was one survivor. His name was Hugh Williams.
He was trying for a different ritual that time.
I think so. I think he couldn't find the monster and took another boat.
Or that monster was demanding too much of him.
1860. Back to the Strait of Menai. Back to December 5th. A boat carrying 25 people sank. And again, one survivor, no shit, for like the fucking 5th time. Hugh Williams.
Oh, this time I thought it was going to be like Jim Cunningham or something.
Now, this one is my favorite. 1940. A boat off the coast of England sank. This time there were 2 survivors. 2, Mike.
2, you say?
Yeah, a man and his nephew, both named Hugh Williams.
They were both named Hugh Williams?
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Oh my God. This is the greatest story ever told. Get out of here, New Testament. This is way better.
Now, I looked into this a little bit, and people just literally chalk this up. I mean, let me count here. From what I got, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 accounts of an entire ship sinking with the lone survivor being fucking Hugh Williams. And in looking into this, they say, sure, there's a lot of boats fucking sinking at this time. Hugh Williams was a common name. That's just weird. This, to me, what else would you call this, Mike, other than like the most gnarly coincidence of all fucking time?
Fucking sorcery. That's what I would call it.
What a sorcery.
Fucking sorcery.
I mean, that's insane, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, if true, there's, like I said, there's a few different places where I saw different times. Different dates. They're all supposed to be on the December 5th. There was that one in August that I came across, but holy shit.
That he was trying to warm up a river hag. That's what that one was. He's like, "What's up, river hag?"
Trying to get a deity closer to home so he doesn't have to go so far to kill a boatload of people.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, if I could do it in my backyard, that would be ideal. Didn't work, bud. And then he went out with a paltry 25 the next time out. So I'm sure the fucking Dagon or Cthulhu or whoever was pretty disappointed with him. I'm like, dude, first you tried to go behind our back with the river hag, and now you only bring us a paltry 25. You're lucky we don't eat you this time.
Yeah, you're lucky we don't take your nephew.
Do better. That's probably why he did bring his nephew, just in case what he brought wasn't good enough. Like, you better have a backup plan, buddy.
Look, guys, I didn't just bring you the normal vagabonds, okay? Here is an actual Williams. Eat him.
They're like, you know what? Nah, we're good. You guys are rotten. Rotten to the core.
That was the last encounter that I came across. Maybe that was it. They're just like, our deal's done here. I mean, 25 people is not going to do anything.
Yeah, and then you go to sacrifice your nephew. Like, nah, dude. Get some standards and fuck off. And he's like, but I'm going to die. And they're like, well, I guess you're going to die. You had a good run. Eat a bag of dicks.
But I saw that in a few places, and I wanted to actually dig into it to see if there's any truth to it. And there is. That's got to be something more. All sea wizard shit aside. What the fuck is that? That just, I mean, I've read a lot of, I have a book that has like some of the world's most insane coincidences. And that's, if there's that many boats that sank where the lone survivor was Hugh Williams, what the fuck could that be? I mean, I guarantee that's not the whole, like the same, who knows? Maybe it was the same family, the same bloodline, but what the hell can that be? That can't just be a crazy coincidence, or a lot of boats sank, or a lot of people had that name.
No, it's clearly wizardry. That's the only explanation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can't say anything other than fucking sea wizards. God.
Is there any description of whether or not that these Williams have a magnificent beard?
Long pointy hats.
Yeah, something. Lightning-shaped eyebrows.
Now I want lightning-shaped eyebrows.
Don't we all?
If we have any cosmetic/beautician people that listen, your boy needs some lightning bolt eyebrows.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, like the outside could be dark colored and it gets gray as it goes inward.
Perfect.
Yep.
Because it's building in intensity. I like it.
All right, so from boat to bus.
All right, so we're back on land. All right. So this story took place in 1961 in Wavertree, Liverpool, England. There were 2 people that reported this incident. two people that were involved that reported it. One being a 22-year-old man named Doug. Doug is a pseudonym.
Oh, I was just gonna say, who's ever met a bad Doug?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's his real first name, and he's just like, I'm just Doug, I don't know. But he was the driver on the bus, and he wasn't supposed to be, but he was put in charge of the Route 79 bus due to an illness that had been affecting other senior drivers at the time. He was taking the route for I'll provide street names just in case anybody lives in that area or is familiar with the area. Maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. But he was driving up High Street, and he ended up, the best street of all. He picked up a bunch of people at the city center when he noticed this gray metal sign near a nearby. I think it's like a coffee house / pub sort of thing, but there was this metal sign up that said diversion, and it had an arrow pointing right down Prince Alfred Road. And I'm assuming, based on the context of the story, that a diversion sign is the England's equivalent to our detour signs, like when there's construction or whatever. So seeing this, he goes to make the right turn, and there were people that were getting ready to get off at their regular stop before he made the turn. So he makes the announcement over the loudspeaker on the bus, and obviously the people that were preparing to get off were annoyed and voicing their concern and everything. And he's like, we'll let you off the next stop. You'll be fine. And there's clearly something going on because there's a diversion sign. So I'm following the diversion and going, we'll get back on track, basically. So as he's going down through, following the diversion sign, his engine sputters and then stops. And so he tries to restart the engine. No dice. Tries again. Still doesn't start. At this point, Doug looks around to, see if he's holding up traffic or anything, and he's kind of alarmed to see that there's no other vehicles on the street at this point in time. It's just the bus, nothing else, which is pretty weird. And shortly after noticing this, 9 figures in dark robes just seemingly appear out of nowhere and surround the bus.
Oh, shit.
And so the passengers notice them. Doug notices them, but they're just surrounding the bus. But all of a sudden, Doug recalls that there was a figure that appeared next to him. And he said he'd never opened the bus doors, so he has no idea how this figure got on board the bus. But the figure looked down at him. He was sitting in the seat. And he said when he looked up, the figure had a black robe on with a black hood, and under the hood was a black mask that just had holes cut out for the eyes.
Oh.
And after he looked down, after this figure looked down at Doug, he looked at all the other passengers and said, "Don't attempt to leave. You are all under my power. You cannot leave. You will not even be able to get out of your seat." And Doug said one of the last thing he remembered was looking over at his partner. His name was Cecil, and he was basically the ticket taker, would sit next to the driver. And he said Cecil got up and moved to an empty seat and then sat there and closed his eyes. And that was the last thing he remembered. So everything from the next point forward is told from a 16-year-old named Kathy, who was on the top deck of the bus, because this was a double-deck bus. And she avoided detection by hiding under one of the back seats on the top deck. And she said she heard the hooded man saying, "Sleep. Go to sleep. You are all feeling very sleepy." And she said she watched him come up, and when he was at the front of the top deck, she ran down the stairs at the back to the back of the bus and managed to get the back door open and basically took off. But when she first got down there, she looked out, trying to see what was going on. And she said all the people on the first level all had their eyes closed and appeared to be sleeping, including the driver and his partner.
Oh.
So she managed to open this back door and started running up Hunter's Lane. And when she looked back towards the bus, she noticed that there were two of these dark figures that were chasing her. But she managed to keep distance from them and outrun them, basically. And so she ran up the road, and she came across a police officer who was at that coffee house pub thing that was nearby the area. And she said, like, when she ran up to the police officer, she was so agitated, by the whole ordeal. She wasn't making a lot of sense, but she displayed enough urgency that the officer decided that he would go take a look. So he told her to stay put. He ran down the road. And when he reached the bus a few minutes later, none of these robed figures were there, but the officer said that all of the passengers were sitting in their seats looking forward with a dazed look in their eye, and they all seemed to be in a trance. And he was able to board the bus, and he was able to kind of rouse the driver and asked what was going on. And at first, nobody remembered what happened. But as a few minutes went by, they started to recall what had happened, and all their memories end with the black figure on the bus telling them to go to sleep. So throughout the course of the questioning, the police officer asked Doug why the Route 79 bus had been all the way over here. And Doug explained that there was a diversion sign by the coffee house. And so he followed the arrow. He had also been asked if he had been drinking at all. And Doug said, no, I haven't been drinking at all. So then they're like, did you drink last night? Like somehow drinking the night before makes you hallucinate. I don't know. But Doug's like, no, I didn't. And the officer tells him there was no diversion sign back there. I just came from there. And there was no diversion sign. He tells Doug to try to start the bus up, and the bus starts right up. No problems whatsoever, and goes running. The officer did go back to investigate to make sure that there was no sign, and there was no evidence that there was a diversion sign there at all.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's basically the story. I don't know really what to make of that. Like, what was the purpose? Like they stopped the bus, and then Kathy was able to escape, and she talked to the cop, and then the cop ran back. It doesn't sound like there was a lot of time, really. Like I would say maybe 15 minutes all together between when she left and when the cop got there, maybe.
Yeah.
So what were they doing? Why did they want everybody to sleep? Nobody reported anything missing.
What could they get done in 15 minutes that didn't leave marks? Yeah, exactly. What would they want?
But that's what made me think of Dark City. Like, were they telling everybody to go to sleep, and like Kathy was the only one that escaped? And so she just missed when everybody was switched around into different lives. And then by the time she got the cop had already been switched around. And so he goes to investigate, and everybody on the bus was switched around.
Dude, how do you think people would handle if that's was the real nature of existence? Like, people can handle aliens? I don't know. I was talking to somebody recently, and talking to Gary. I still don't think people would be able to handle if there were straight up aliens broadcasting over our TVs. But what do you think people's reaction would be if it's something that they've most likely never even fucking fathomed?
I think that like something like that, like the revelation that we're actually in the Matrix, or that we're in a dark city sort of scenario or something like that. I think for a lot of people that would be enough to completely break them mentally, like maybe just make them shut down, or go completely fucking batshit, just become babbling idiots, or suicidal even, because then it's like, what's the fucking point?
Oh God.
Yeah, I would definitely imagine there would be like a mass die off if something like that were to be revealed as the truth of our existence.
All right, dude. Then before we end the show, we need to make some type of support group or club for those of us who get freaked the fuck out by finding out that everything that we know is fake.
Yeah, the false reality support group.
Yeah, that's what the show will turn into if
yeah. If that's ever revealed, turn to the show, and we will be a support group together. We can all be babbling idiots, and we can all use each other for support, and hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and whatever other babbling madness we want to. We can all just babble like madmen and put it to music. I mean, that's basically what we do here anyway, so might as well share that with you guys. Come, babble with the Whatcast.
I'm alive, right? I'm alive, right? You'd be like, no.
No, let's sing about it, though.
Panic, like a red hot panic singing from like 9 different people.
Yeah. I like it. It'll be like a karaoke bar that only offers Slayer songs.
Thank you for listening to the Whatcast. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, iTunes, and YouTube. Enjoy the podcast. Get yourself a Whatcast t-shirt or a sticker pack. Who was that dude on that one episode? Try the links in Homie's page. All this and more can be found at www.thewhatcasters.com. Thanks again for listening and have a great week.